Well, you just knew that was going to happen, didn't you? Justin Gaethje got his one fight win streak together and is calling for a title shot against Islam Makhachev. We all know Gaethje's kind of story. Okay, he gets his one win, he sits out, he tweets out, he wants a title shot. Okay, Dana White is actually entertaining this idea, but this idea of Gaethje fighting Makhachev is laughable. It is absolutely laughable. Okay, Justin Gaethje is in absolutely no position to be fighting Islam Makhachev or fighting for a belt within the next year, bro. Within the next year, okay? This dude literally beat a short notice Rafael Fiziev, who was coming off an injury and was ranked 11th, and he's sitting there waiting to get asked for a title shot. It's fucking bullshit, okay? I fucking hate when fighters do that. I fucking hate this shit of, I'm going to sit and fucking wait for something I don't deserve. I'm going to say it. Ilya Topuria did it to fight Volkanovski. Timing is everything in the sport. Gaethje might have got that win at the most precise time possible, considering there is no real number one contender at lightweight for Makhachev. There isn't one contender at lightweight that's like, everyone's like, he's next. He deserves it. Some people say Arman deserves it. Okay, even though he pulled out a day before his fight versus Makhachev. How the fuck do you think Arman Tsarukyan deserves a title shot? Saying, okay, the way the division is, I think he should get it is one thing. But sitting there and saying Arman Tsarukyan deserves a title shot after pulling out a day before the event is bullshit. Okay? It is absolutely fucking bullshit. Then you have Ilya Topuria. Okay? Which some people will sit there and say Ilya's done work on Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Max Holloway knocked out Gaethje. I think Ilya deserves it. The way the division is going, the more kind of people are sitting there and saying, I'm going to sit out. Arman could even say, I'm going to sit out. Honestly, Gaethje, Arman, who knows, that could be next. There's some matchups here. I'm going to get to who I think Gaethje is going to fight next and how the kind of landscape of the division is going to look like. Ilya Topuria versus Islam. I made a video like a month ago saying they shouldn't be fighting yet. The way the division is going, it probably could be next. You don't know who's going to be next for Makhachev. Charles Oliveira is in a position as well to where he's won one fight against a Michael Chandler and he could be fighting next. Do you know what I mean? There's so many matchups that could be made. Gaethje Oliveira could be a matchup as well. It's quite hard to see where everything kind of lines up with lightweight because people don't want to fight each other. Okay, they'd rather fucking sit out and wait. And one thing that actually pisses me off is people are kind of giving like Makhachev not stick, but they're like, oh, like it is kind of tarnishing his legacy a little bit as regards. He's kind of got really good wins, but on paper they're good wins. But then you kind of look into them. The Volkanovski was short notice. Poirier was kind of like towards the end of his career, like he just beat Benoit Saint Denis. Renato Moicano was on short notice. Dan Hooker was on short notice. That really is kind of like a fuck's sake if you're a Makhachev fan, which I am. I'm also a massive Justin Gaethje fan. Like he's one of my favorite fighters. But I will literally say what I think on this channel. I don't give a fuck. Okay, and they're kind of stains on Makhachev's kind of legacy. And I don't want to see him fight fucking Gaethje. Like, Khabib fought Gaethje, and if you look at the first round against Fiziev, like, Fiziev got Gaethje down, man. Fiziev got Gaethje down. Okay? Gaethje got straight back up. Let me tell you something. Okay? Let me tell you something. If Makhachev got Gaethje in that same position, he'd do him 10 times quicker than he did Moicano. Do you really want to see that fucking fight? Okay? Do you really want to see that fight? And his tweet actually fucking pissed me off. Okay, his tweet was a fucking joke. I won 3 out of my last 4, and the only fight I lost in was an exhibition fight. What fucking bullshit is that like? What kind of coping mechanism is that? An exhibition fight? You got your chin sparked against Max Holloway and you were losing the whole fight. Okay, no exhibition about that. Okay, you got your ass whooped. And I love Gaethje, but tweeting that shit does you absolutely no favors. Okay, and that fucking pisses me off when you tweet shit like that. You're just discrediting the Max Holloway win. So you're just completely discrediting it. Saying it's an exhibition fight. You won that fake fucking belt. Then the Poirier fight was an exhibition fight. What's the difference? What's the difference? I know Dustin Poirier is a lightweight, but Max Holloway's a lightweight now. He's in that division permanently. You could see him again. You know what I mean? You fought on a pay-per-view, headlined the pay-per-view for the BMF belt just because they had no champions in that fucking thing. Okay, that was the only reason you were headlining that. You didn't even headline 300. So I don't know what you're talking about, exhibition fights and shit for a fucking fake belt that no one cares about. Okay, it's an absolute joke, that fucking belt. It was like the fucking... one of those WWE belts. I don't know, like, fucking any of them stupid ones. You know, they made them. Boxing has them as well. Everyone's a fucking world champion in boxing. Okay, it's hard not to be a world champion in boxing at this rate. And you paraded around with that fucking belt for ages, and as soon as you lose it, it's an exhibition fight. Man, get out of here with that bullshit. Okay, I love you and I've followed your career, and I want you to win pretty much every fight you've been in. But when you tweet shit like that, you don't do yourself any fucking favors. Any favors. Okay? For next Gaethje, honestly, man, I honestly think, and I've said this on this channel before, they're going to do the Paddy Pimblett fight if he beats Michael Chandler. I honestly think they will do that. Pimblett is kind of, if he beats Chandler, he's in a position where he can fight anybody in that top 5. And he's fighting for the belt straight away. I do think the UFC are going to do the Sean O'Malley of trying to give him the best possible fight. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Pimblett in another 3-rounder of like a co-main event to a pay-per-view, so he has that best chance of nicking a round or two and then getting it. Similar to O'Malley versus Yan. They gave him a 3-rounder because that was obviously Sean's. He's never fought 5 rounds, so it was his best chance to win. And I could easily see them doing that for Pimblett as well. Maybe against Gaethje, maybe against Oliveira, Arman. You know, there's options, okay? And if he beats Chandler, fuck, man, Ilya could be up there. You know what I mean? Obviously, Ilya would beat the fucking shit out of him. Pimlett's going to have a hard time. He could even, he could do something against Gaethje. He wraps him up in something weird. That'd be a great scrap. But for Gaethje, you know, Arman Tsarukyan's out there. The Dan Hooker rematch, I don't really want to see. I think Dan Hooker could even fight Pimblett as well. There's options. Dan Hooker needs to do some work. Dan Hooker versus Fiziev is a good fight. Not mad at that one at all. But lightweight is a good one. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. I think they're going to do that. I see somewhere Ilya versus Charles is rumored, but I don't believe that. I'm only going to believe, it was rumored to be the co-main event, I think, to Jones versus Aspinall. As soon as I saw Jones versus Aspinall, I was like, hell no. That fight, who the fuck knows? Ankalaev is turning into some of the sports fucking biggest fans, tweeting at shit at John Jones for being steroids. Thank God someone's finally saying it. Some fighters finally saying it instead of big up Bones is GOAT. The GOAT of failed drugs tests. I agree. I'm going to leave that there. But yeah, it's going to be a good one. I think Holloway versus Oliveira makes sense. I think that's a really good fight. They fought before. Charles got a mad injury, but that was when he used to just randomly stop and fight. So I don't really know what the story was with that injury. I think the fans would want to see that so well and so much hype for that fight. And if Charles wins, fucking hell, he's the number one contender, I think. I also saw Poirier versus Holloway was rumored. That is, Beneil Dariush said that, so I don't know how true it is. Obviously he knows a bit more than me about the matchmaking, but I don't want to see that fight at all. At all, man. Because if Poirier wins, which he could, because he's beaten Holloway twice, and he's finished him once, Holloway's kind of lightweight thing is kind of like, what do you do now? Because Poirier rides off to the sunset with a great win to end his career, and then Max Holloway's just kind of left there at the kind of middle of the division, coming off a loss to Poirier, who's just retired, and he got finished by Makhachev. So the hype for a Max versus Makhachev fight is completely dead if he loses to Poirier. But if he goes in there and pieces up on Oliveira, which I think he would beat Charles Oliveira. What a fucking scrap. Okay, what an absolute fucking scrap. The hype is right there. And you give Max that belt. Okay, you give him that title shot. Because you finish Gaethje, and if he finishes Oliveira, I would love to see Max fight for the belt. Okay? I would love to see Max fight for the belt. And the thing is about Max Holloway, he's not a fucking Gaethje where he's going to tweet, oh, I'm just going to sit out and wait. He will fight Oliveira, he'll fight Chandler, he'll literally fight fucking anyone and then fight for the belt. Okay, that's why I love Max Holloway. None of this I'm sitting out waiting bullshit that fighters do. Okay, I absolutely hate it. And it's bullshit. Okay, I'm fucking sick of it. And we need people like that. Arman Tsarukyan seems like he's down to fight people as well. He's kind of down to fight anyone. Arman versus Max, another fucking absolute banger fight that I would love to see. Lightweight's so matchmaker friendly. Okay, there's so many great matchups that can be made. I just hope they make the right plays. Okay, the thing is, I want to see Makhachev kind of active, and if there's no one, they could give him to Gaethje, because Dana White said Gaethje's in a good position, and he actually is. Okay, he is. But I'd honestly rather see Oliveira rematch, considering the way he beat up Chandler. Okay? You had a close fight with Fiziev as well, and let's make no mistake about it. You definitely won, but Fiziev definitely had moments. Okay, at the start of that third round, he was winning. Then the gas tank kind of fucked off, but definitely won. But Fiziev definitely had moments. Um, is he going to sit out another fucking year? Is that really what's going to happen here? Because before the UFC 300 Max Holloway fight, he was active. Like, he fought Fiziev in March, then he fought Poirier in July. Then we got an announcement about 300. Of course, they were saving him for that big card, which is understandable. Then he fought Holloway. Then he took another year. Like, he's coming to the end of his career, and Gaethje's one fight away from never fighting again. Like, his next loss could be it, okay? Because if he's not, he said, like, if he's not in the sport to win and become a champion, he's not going to be here. And he only has one crack left at the belt, okay? But I just don't want to see it. Yeah, I need to see more from Gaethje. Like, you can't sit there and say, I deserve to fight for you. You don't fucking deserve anything, okay, man? You got sparked less than a year ago against a featherweight, who now is moved up and is a lightweight, but that doesn't make your case any good saying it's an exhibition fight. Okay, that bullshit is fucking, get out of here with that shit. So, some of the matchups I made: Dan Hooker versus Rafael Fiziev, Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. Ilia Topuria is kind of in the loom. We don't really know what's going to happen to him. I wouldn't mind seeing him against any of these fucking guys, to be honest with you. Like, put him against Gaethje, that's a fucking scrap. There's kind of there's going to be an odd man out here, and I can honestly see that being Gaethje. Of him just being ignorant and sitting there saying, right, I beat him, I'm going away from my belt. These guys fight. He gets a leapfrog by an armed Sarukian, by Charles Oliveira, by Ilia Topuria. Fuck, even Paddy Pimblett, if he beats Chandler's in a better position, because he's a big name, and he's got this hype around him, and he's coming off a Chandler win. If he finishes Chandler as well, Gaethje didn't finish Chandler. Okay, he didn't finish Fiziev. Do you know what I mean? He got finished by Holloway. This fucking bullshit of just sitting there and waiting, man. I absolutely hate it. There's reasons we have Gaethje versus Poirier 2 as the main event of a big pay-per-view. It's because people aren't fucking active. Okay, they have to put these fights on for that fake belt. Okay? And I'm only, like, I'm not raging, but I just have pure passion for this sport, and I want to see the big matchups. Okay? I love them. I love the sport. It's the best shit on the fucking planet. The fighters make this sport. I'm only saying this because I love watching Gaethje fight, and I'm so passionate about it. But sitting there tweeting that bullshit is fucking ridiculous. And you're not helping your case for no belt, apart from that fake one that you don't even have anymore, actually. Ilia should have that belt. Dude's a fucking G. I love Ilia, so lightweight is absolutely stacked. But we have no number one contender. Okay? If I was to put my money on what's next, I'd honestly put it as Gaethje Makhachev July. Honestly, that's what I'd do. Like, Ilia, the matchups could be made in so many different ways. That's what's so fascinating about lightweight. Okay, that's what's so good about it. Like, these guys, I'm saying, like, Fiziev versus Hooker. I think that's going to happen. I like that fight. You know, they both kind of deserve it, and the winner will fight for a top 5. Armin, Charles, Max, Ilia, that kind of group can fight each other in any order or any mix and match. The UFC has a very unique way of doing stuff, and I could see them literally doing any kind of matchmaking and kind of mixing and matching divisions and see what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Makhachev is kind of like almost like Makhachev's almost the odd man out because he is no number one contenders, and Makhachev will literally fight anyone. Okay, it's not like he's pulling out fights. Okay, Makhachev hasn't pulled out of a fight when he had the belt. Okay, and he's literally fought Moicano on short notice. He flew to Australia to fight fucking Volkanovski a few months after he beat Charles Oliveira. Like, he's not scared of anyone. Like, he will literally fight fucking anybody. Okay, he doesn't care, and I don't think that's being talked about enough. Okay, I think you've seen Alex Pereira lose last weekend. I think Makhachev is now the biggest name in the UFC. I was talking this about my friend. He was saying Pereira is still the biggest name. I was saying Makhachev has that Khabib clout. So he's definitely going to be a massive name, and I think he's the biggest name in the sport at the moment. But yeah, man, like the matchmaking is going to be extremely interesting to see, and I can't fucking wait to see what way they mix and match these kind of guys and see where they go. It's going to go left. It's going to go right. Is Islam going to fight Makhachev? Is Islam going to fight Ilia? Is he going to fight Gaethje? Who the fuck knows where lightweight's going? Okay, but all I know is we've got an absolute banger matchup in Pimblett Chandler. That is going to have massive implications if Paddy Pimblett is winning. Okay? You will see matchups being made you didn't think. Pimblett could fight Charles. Pimblett could fight Gaethje. I think they're the two Pimblett could fight if he beats him. I wouldn't be surprised if Gaethje fights Pimlet. I said that in my video against breaking down the Viziev fight. I could easily see them doing Gaethje Pimlet if he wins. Pimlet wins. And I mean easily. Okay, because that's a matchup where I wouldn't say Pimlet's going to win, but if Viziev can get you down in the first round and nearly get you in, I think it was an inverted triangle, Pimlet can definitely do that. Pimlet can definitely do that. Okay, and that's why I would love to see that fight. But the matchmaking in lightweight is looking fucking saucy. And I cannot wait to see what way they bang this out. Let me know. I'm going to have a Vittori video out tomorrow. Hopefully that beefhead wins tonight. I don't think he is, but let me know what you think about all this matchmaking.